Today, we're following up on a previous video where we talked about sharing hope with others. This is going to be a good one. In my third video, I discussed how important it was for us older adults to share hope with others. I explained how rewarding it could be and provided some great examples that we can receive from helping others. You could find this video by clicking right up here. In the hope episode, I talked about my friend Dave and how he was the inspiration for this video. Now, all of us have a Dave in our lives. This is someone that is a fantastic person, but has kind of lost their way. But the Daves in our lives are definitely people that we can help. I previously wrote a handwritten letter to Dave just to let him know that I was thinking about him and was encouraging him to have hope. And I asked him to reach back to me. And this ended up turning into a dialogue that found me heading to North Carolina to visit Dave. And this video is the result of that visit. So last weekend, my brother and I headed to North Carolina to visit Dave. This is a trip. This trip accomplished two things. One, I was going to visit Dave and share time with him in person. And two was that I was going to be doing it with my younger brother. Since Dave was initially my brother's friend that turned into a mutual friend, it seemed like the perfect scenario. Maybe the impact of seeing both me and my brother would really begin to give Dave hope. Plus, my brother is really good at this. He's really just a natural motivator. We took the first flight out in the morning, arrived in Mooresville, North Carolina, 9 hours later. And I never would have guessed that seeing Dave would immediately be good for my soul. The last time I saw Dave was about 3 years ago. And now I know that the decision to visit him was going to be good for us all. And it was. Dave met us at our hotel the day we arrived. He was excited to see us just as much as we were excited to see him. I noticed immediately that he had put on a lot of weight and was struggling to walk. He was still healing from a recent knee surgery and told us that he was also suffering from terrible foot and ankle pain. It seemed that every step was painful and he needed to sit frequently. I also noticed that the Dave I remember was still there, but the physical pain and struggles had taken its toll on him. It was easy to see how Dave was struggling to find hope. The pain that he was in seemed unbearable. Nevertheless, I knew that the purpose of this trip was, and I knew I was going to make sure that by the time we left, that we would have instilled in Dave a sense of hope that things would get better. And we immediately got to it. We spent the next 48 hours visiting with Dave and his family. We toured the wonderful town of Mooresville and the surrounding areas. We reminisced about our shared past and also talked about the future. We shared meals and many, many laughs. Now, I'm a few years older than Dave, and we spoke about that. And he asked me, how do I stay physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy? We also discussed our roles as fathers. We each have a 22-year-old son. And we talked about the future. Dave struggled with this part of the conversation. He was unsure and concerned and had many doubts. But this is where we were able to share hope. And it was then that we started leaning into our values and our desires for the future. We shared our daily habits and the little bit of discipline that was needed to move the needle on things that he was struggling with. At first, Dave was doubtful. He said that he felt he was resolved with the idea that he would never get better. And this took some time, but eventually I could sense hope coming back. And it took the form of a tiny confident smile, and you could see it in his eyes. And I felt just maybe our being there was just what he needed to remind him of who he always was. And we began to encourage him to try and find that person he was deep down inside. Now, I know it would be naive to think that this short visit with Dave could make everything better for him. But that's not the point. The point here was to get the ball rolling in the right direction and instill a sense of hope. It's the little things that we do for others that sometimes have the greatest impact. And that was the overall goal here. When we were saying our goodbyes, we promised to follow up with each other and to continue with the encouragement and support. My brother spoke for hours on the flight home. We agreed that seeing Dave was not only good for him, but it was also good for us. That sharing hope with others also provides us with a reward of knowing that we may have helped someone just a little bit and given them just enough encouragement to get moving in the right direction. Hope is a very powerful emotion, and sharing it is the least that we can do for others that are struggling. In closing, my name is James, and I make videos for older adults that are looking for answers to some of life's simple questions. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. Again, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.